We've become a nation so distracted by the minutiae that we're unable to see the larger picture, like the old idiom where you can no longer see the forest for the trees. This distraction isn't accidental. It's a deliberate ploy by those who aim to rob us of two things: our ability to survive independently and the very essence of our humanity. They twist the concept of choice into the ability to choose nothing of value, and they reduce existence to mere rhetoric, devoid of substance. Common sense and shared understanding are being eroded, leaving a void filled with confusion and chaos. Work ethics and the value of achievement have been relegated to the back seat, replaced by hollow words that mean nothing. In a world where boys can decide to be girls and vice versa, we've reached a point where coexistence is no longer based on mutual benefit, but on willful ignorance. The reality of self-destruction looms closer, even as we try to blind ourselves to its approach. As the United States morphs into the divided states under the guise of democracy, we find ourselves entrenched in tribalism, where each faction fuels hatred for the other. The politics of today are not about uniting us as a people, they're about tearing us apart. The economy has shifted from one of mutual benefit to a zero-sum game where someone's gain is inherently another's loss. History shows us that nations focused on division rather than unity are doomed to fail. When society splinters into tribes, the only outcomes are survival by force or total collapse. Our current economy is propped up by debt, both government and personal. Without the continuous expansion of government influence and the rising levels of personal debt, the United States will cease to be the great republic it once was. Instead, we'll be left reminiscing about the good times that are now behind us. If you're willing to reside in a house built on words and dine on empty promises, then by all means, continue listening to those who speak without substance, resting their entire worth on hollow rhetoric. Keep following the echoes of tribal rhetoric into a world where not only will you fail to recognize your neighbor, but eventually you'll fail to recognize yourself. The path we're on leads to a future where the ideals that once united us are lost, replaced by division, distrust, and the decay of everything that once made us strong. If you truly care about your future and that of your children, it's time to think critically, reject the empty rhetoric, and demand real leadership from those who have the concrete experience and drive to continue the building of the nation we call home.